Hello and welcome to my channel. So today I have a very nice documentary stories for you. I bring you the story of Paul Biya, the longest ruling president of all time. So grab a cup of tea like mine, see mine, open it and sip a little, bend down as I explain to you all you need to know about Paul Biya of Cameroon. All right, let's begin. Paul Biya, 4 decades as Cameroon uncheckable leader. Cameroon under Paul Biya, 40 years of power and controversies. Okay, today we are looking at Paul Biya controversial reign as a president. Okay, he started as a prime minister under to 8 term president. So this story of Paul Biya will bring you the history of Paul Biya, what Paul Biya and how Paul Biya started. This documentary traced the life and rule of Paul Biya from his humble beginning in Mvomeka'a, Mvomeka'a to becoming one of the world's longest serving head of state. We will explore in this segment the rise to power, the successive election he have, victories and political reforms and controversies. Okay, pay attention, and how his leadership reshaped Cameroon over 40 years through archival footage. Okay, expert analysis and testimony from people. I'm telling you this thing from people of Cameroon. People have, they tell me what I'm saying now. I'm not saying from my own. They are telling me what I'm saying now. People from Cameroon. That I ask so many questions about Pobia and they tell me. Pobia legacy being from his nation stability, stagnation, or something in between. Okay, now pay attention. The story of Pobia's life, the rise and the rule. Early life and rise to power. Pobia was born February 13, 1933. So Pobia had become an old man. So if you think he's a young man, you are making mistake. In Mvomeka'a in Italy, in Cameroon. He studied in local school, then pursued higher education in France, political science for that matter, law, before returning to Cameroon after independence. During the 1960s and 1970s, he gradually rose in the government position in education ministry, then civil service, then secretary general of the presidency. In 1975, he was appointed prime minister, a position he held until 1982, becoming the president in 1982. The first president of independent Cameroon, Ahmadou Ahidja, resigned suddenly in November 1982 as prime minister. Paul Biya was constitutionally successor and assumed the presidency in 6 November 19, 1982. At first, many experts continuity, but soon as he grew between Biya and Ahidajo supporters, Biya consolidated his power by replacing party leadership and restructuring the ruling party apparatus, okay, from one party state to multi parties, okay. Originally, Cameroon operate as one party state under the ruling party. Then, then the Cameroonian National Union later transformed, okay. Listen again. After a failed coup attempt in 1984, which was reportedly linked to fraction loyal to Ahidoja, Ahidijo, Bio cracked down hard purging rival and consolidating his authority under mounting domestic and international pressure. Biya allowed limited democratic reform in the early 90s. Multi-party politics were restored, paving the way for election between one-party rule. Okay, the first multi-party presidential election was held in 1992 and Biya won. Okay, that's the first one. Long rule and re-elections over the decade, Biya has been re-elected many times. 1997, 2004, 2011, 2018, most recently 2025. In 2008, a constitutional amendment abolished term limits, enabling him to continue ruling independently. As of 2025, he was being in power for over 43 years, making him one of the longest serving non-loyal national leaders in the world. Hey, Odogu. Challenges, 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 criticism, and controversies. Long term, long his long rule has drawn frequent accusation of author, authoritarianism, election irregularities, suppression of dissent, and corruption. Okay, Cameroon's economy have faced problem in 1980s. Global commodity price drop, economic mismanagement, and corruption lead to hardship despite some attempted reforms. Most recently, under his presidency, Cameroon have struggled with serious internal issues, including a long running conflict in English speaking regions seeking for independence. So, if Pobia leave today, there will be problem. The Anglophone crisis and the security threat in the north from extremist group. Many critics argue that under Paul Biya rule, power become highly centralized and him and his inner circle with little genuine domestic accountability. Recent developments and 2025 re-election. In 2025, at 92-year-old, Biya ran for election and was officially declared winner, securing another his eighth term with around 53 to 54% of votes. The result was immediately contested by opposition parties and sparked protests, with allegation of electoral fraud and illegalities. So the opponent, they were busy shouting illegality, illegality. But the lawyers are waiting. His swearing in for the new term in November 2025 generated both international attention and renewed debate about Cameroon's future. Whether under Biya, the country will see reform or continue stagnation, legacy stability, stagnation, or something else. Okay? Supporters credit Biya with maintaining unity in diverse country. Okay? Steering Cameroon through decade of regional and global challenge and providing continuity. Okay? Now, the only criticism contend that his long ruling has entrenched authoritarianism, stalled domestic development, allow corruption to flourish, okay, and failed to resolve fundamental social, economic, and security problem, leaving many Cameroonians delusioned. No clear vision, no clear successor, and the removal of term limits. President Biya have checked that everything is working fine. Pose hard question about governance, accountability, and what happened when such a long term eventually step down or pass away. Here are recommended things you need to know. 1. Progue. Who is Paul Biya? Early life in Mvomeka'a, education, rise in civil service, post-independence Cameroon belief background, the unexpected rise in 1982, Ahadijo resignation, Biya becoming the prime minister president, initial optimism, then internal power struggle. 3. Consolidating power from one party to dominance. Q attempt in 1984, plunge of rival creation of new ruling party. Reasons for our consolidation: fear of fundamental for stability or control. 1990 shift multi-party politics and new election. Domestic and international pressure. Legalization of multi-parties. Okay. 1992 election and transition from one party ruling party to paper. Repeating the election, constitutional change in 2008, eliminating time limit. Legacy through crisis, economic conflict, controversial economic downturn, corruption allegation, public discontent, ethnic linguistic fracture, anglophone crisis, security threat, and state repression. Impact on daily life and of ordinary Cameroonians. The 16th, okay? Election, new mandate at 92. Campaign re-election. Opposite claim protest. Controversial. What means for Cameroon future? And generation hope. What next? The question of legacy and succession. Bare health, old age, absence of clear successor. What long rule teaches us about power, leadership, and democracy? Open question: stability versus stagnation, continuity versus change. Conclusion: the many faces of Bobia, balanced view, achievement, criticism, and unanswered question. Invitation for viewers to reflect on leadership in long term. Why do this story matters? Why am I telling you all these stories? Why am I here to bring you about these stories? Pobia tenure is rarely over 4 decades. Many people in Cameroon have known no other leader. That longevity offer a powerful case study on political power, leadership, and institutional decay or continuity. History interact with major conditional and global issues. Posts of state governments, democratization, crisis, regional continuity, identity, political right. BL for global Africa, BL Life offer insight on how a leader can survive and thrive over decade for a better or worse. This is for you to learn that Pobia have done enough to hurt Cameroonians. So if you are watching this video, please share it to any Cameroonian. I've tell you a little story of Pobia, why we still have more to bring for you. If you have listened to my video, go and watch the last video I posted about how African changing the world. Thank you. And